Welcome back to Persistent Purpose with MJ Hunter. I am your host, Coach MJ, a global speaker, mindset strategist, emerging author, event producer, and serial entrepreneur extraordinaire. If you are new to Persistent Purpose, welcome. We are so glad to have you. Be sure to subscribe, follow, like, comment, share all the things, and make sure you turn on those alerts so you don't miss an amazing episode. And if you are not new and you've been with us before, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Today, I am going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. I guess every topic I talk about on here is one of my favorite topics. That's why I talk about it. But I'm going to be talking about affirmations. That's a word that we hear a lot certainly in the online business space, but even offline, we hear a lot of talk today about affirmations and people saying affirmations and writing affirmations and telling people to believe in affirmations. And so we want to talk about whether they work, and if they do work, why do they work? And if they don't work, why do they not work? What made this topic come to mind as I was sitting here thinking about what I wanted to talk to you about today was because I was having a down moment, right? As an entrepreneur, if you are an entrepreneur, you know that the road to success, or the road of success, because it's a journey, not a destination, it has ups and downs and twists and turns. And some days you feel magnificent and some days you don't. And in full transparency, I was having a moment where I did not feel great. I was having a panicked moment, not actual panic like, having the condition where people actually feel, anxiety in that way, but just, some moments of, oh my goodness, because some things were not working out the way I thought they would, and etc. I'm not going to get into that right now. But one thing I did do was I pulled out a little magnet that sits in front of me on my desk that I got from Terry Savelle Foy. She's an amazing motivational speaker who I watch, and she created a tool and she sent it to me for making a donation to her ministry. And it has a list of affirmations on it. And I keep it right there. And I read through them and I was speaking them aloud. And as I read one affirmation after another, and these were actually scripturally based because she is a minister, I felt more and more power and excitement. I felt my mood changing. I felt my hopefulness coming back. And I just felt energetic again, just from hearing those words being spoken, words I've spoken before because I've read the magnet before, but I needed to hear it in that moment. And every time I read my affirmations out loud, whether they're in one of my notebooks or I'm repeating them off of a YouTube video, I can literally feel myself moving into a space of not only energy and hope and excitement, but also moving into action if I was before stuck in inaction, which is often what leads me to go to my affirmations to begin with. So I know, if you didn't already guess, I believe and I know for a fact that affirmations work. But why do they work? Sometimes people want to know, well, what is it about saying something, saying some words that can create the outcome that you want? Because that's what most people who talk, well, that's what everybody who talks about affirmations is letting you know about them, is that they will create the outcome that you want. Well, first off, words have power. So your words are going to create whatever outcome you're talking about, whether it's a good outcome or a negative outcome. That's why we have to be so careful of the words that we speak out of our mouths. But we're going to talk about 5 reasons why affirmations do work. Okay, and I'm not going to pretend to be a neuroscientist and have all the fancy understanding of the science behind it. However, I am going to be mentioning some of the science behind it for those of you who enjoy that part. So the first reason why affirmations work is that affirmations literally rewire your brain through repetition and focus. What's true is that everything that you believe or think about was placed there or trained there through your past, your childhood, your parents, your friends, the media, things that you have been involved in, people around you. Everything that you are thinking, everything that you believe was wired by repeated exposure to that idea. So the first time you hear an idea, you may not lock into it, but the 5th time you hear an idea, it can become a part of who you are. And so we can literally train, and therefore we can retrain our brain to look at something different and to focus on something different. Every word that comes out of your mouth creates a focus, even if it's something said in jest. I'm actually in the process of retraining myself to be careful of what I say, even in jest, because even though it's a joke, your brain just hears the word. So if you say, I don't like that person, I hate them, or da 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 da. Yeah, we say this stuff in jest, but you're literally putting the words of hate out into the air. And some people are going to be like, oh, it's not that big a deal or whatever. Words have power. And so when you put those words out in the air, you are bringing back the energy and the outcomes that are attached to those words. So I'm trying to retrain myself to be careful of what I say in jest and always try to speak life and positivity as much as possible. But when you speak affirmations, when you say, I am courageous and confident, even if you don't feel that way, when you say the words, your brain, through neuroplasticity, meaning your brain is malleable, it can adjust, your brain will change and adapt to those words. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what is it about the words? Is it just the words? Is it just saying it? There is power in that. So when you say, I am powerful, I am wealthy, I am capable, when you speak those things over yourself or you talk about your situation in a certain way, you are retraining your brain to focus on empowering beliefs instead of negative ones, because there's a million negative messages out in the world and a relative minority of positive messages. But you are training your brain when you speak positively through repetition to focus on those positive outcomes, those positive situations, and those positive aspects of your life. The second reason why affirmations work is that affirmations help you to maintain a positive self-identity. When you affirm your core values, it can help to buffer you against stress and help you to maintain your feelings of self-worth. So if you don't know what your core values are, that is an excellent exercise. Matter of fact, I need to do a video on identifying your core values, because if you just go out and read a values list, all of them are going to sound great, right? All the values are positive. They sound great, but your core values are those patterns that show up over and over in your life. Those they are attached to your belief, but your values are the aspects that you give the most worth to or the most value to. And it comes up in your conversations. It comes up in what makes you mad. It comes up in what you occupy your time with. Your core values, like for example, my five core values are confidence, authenticity, adventure, wellness, and freedom. And those five core values undergird every step I make, every move I make, right? So knowing what your core values are and then affirming those core values, it can help you build a better sense of self-worth and help you to perform better in challenging situations, because you have repeatedly validated the foundation of who you are. And so you have a better sense of self-identity. Most people don't know who they are. And I say this all the time. Most people have no clue who they really are, because we are taught in this society to conform, to fit in, and to do everything we can to feel like we belong, to the point, unfortunately, that we often lose sight of who we are. I often hear when women are talking, or not just women, but women often have this conversation, but men probably do too. After a divorce, they say, well, I lost myself in that relationship, or not even a divorce, just a breakup. I lost myself. I didn't even know what I enjoyed. I didn't know what I liked because I was busy catering to that other person. So many people lose their own identity trying to blend in with other people. So when you know who you are, know what your foundation is, and you constantly affirm it through affirmations, your core values, you have a more strong sense of who you are, and that will allow you to step into a more authentic space in life. The third reason why affirmations do work is that they counteract negative self-talk. Woo! Negative self-talk. It is so easy to be hard on ourselves. And that's why I am blessed to be surrounded by an amazing group of friends, colleagues, acquaintances who I do work with in nonprofit work, in for-profit work, just as friends who literally will call or send a message or a text or just send something affirming from time to time. We do this for each other just to say, hey, you are amazing. And I want you to know that I see you. That is so important because there's so much time that we can be down on ourselves. The moment I was having a little while ago where I was feeling not so great, I almost slipped into negative self-talk. And in the past, I definitely would have. And even now, I'm not perfect at it. But I find when I'm feeling like you failed or you're not good enough or who wants to listen to you or you don't have anything to offer, I now am teaching myself how in those moments to say, you do have to say, as a matter of fact, I love this topic. That's why I get so excited. As a matter of fact, the way to counteract negative self-talk with an affirmation is to literally say the opposite of what you were going to say negative. So if you were going to say you're a failure, say you are successful and say it with conviction. Look yourself in the eye, in the mirror. And that can be uncomfortable for some of you. I know. Do it anyway. Look at your phone, flip your camera, look at your phone. You are capable. When you feel like a loser, you feel like nobody wants to listen to you, people are lining up to hear your wisdom because you have a lot to offer, whatever that is. As a matter of fact, take time right now and write down what is that negative thing you're always telling yourself? What is that thing you believe about yourself? You are telling yourself that over and over, even on a subconscious level. If it's not coming out of your mouth, that's why you still believe it. You have to counteract that negative self-talk with positive self-talk. So when you are replacing self-doubt with positive statements, eventually you start to believe them. Because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's not true. Think about it. When you're watching a horror flick, a horror movie, why do you jump when something comes on the screen? You are sitting in your chair in a theater or you're sitting on your couch at home. You are in no actual danger and you know you're not. Yet something flashes on the screen and it just startles you and it makes you jump. That's because your brain registered danger. It saw something come at it quickly. It didn't take time to say, oh, wait, that's on a screen and I'm sitting. No, you jump immediately. Your brain is responding to that stimuli on the screen. Even though you're not in any danger, it doesn't know the difference between real or fake. And there are a lot of actors who report having mental and emotional issues from unfortunately, a lot of the negative characters that they have portrayed or some of the negative situations that the characters they portrayed were in, because again, they had to take themselves there in their mind so that they could act it out authentically and realistically. And so their body and their mind responds even years later to what they felt and what they pictured in their mind while they were depicting that character. So same thing with negative self-talk or with positive self-talk, your brain doesn't know that you don't actually feel successful. When you keep saying, I am successful, I'm just using that one as an example. I am fit, I am strong, I am capable, I am lovable, I am attractive, whatever it is, your brain says, well, that must be true because you keep saying it. Let's go about actually making that be the case. And that's where we're getting down to why words have power to create results. We're getting close to it, but your brain is going to go about looking for evidence that what you told it or what you keep telling it is true, whether that's negative or positive. So affirmations can counteract that negative self-talk that is so pervasive. It's so easy to be down on ourselves and treat ourselves in a way that we would not treat a good friend. So that's a good litmus test. Would you tell a good friend who is struggling with what you're struggling with? Would you say to them what you're saying to yourself? If the answer is no, then you need to start treating yourself like a good friend, okay? The fourth reason that affirmations really work is that they activate the RAS to highlight what's important. What in the world is the RAS? This is more of that science. The reticular activating system. 3 words, reticular activating system. It's a part of your brain that filters information and makes you notice or focus on what's important. The reticular activating system is what makes you not notice a vehicle until you buy that vehicle or that make. I didn't notice how many Hondas were on the road until I started buying Hondas year after year. And then I bought them for my kids and we're a Honda family. I see them everywhere. The Hondas were there before. I didn't notice them. Or maybe you buy a certain color car or a certain color outfit. Or you start looking at houses and now all of a sudden you notice commercials and everything. Of course, online, if you notice the commercials, it's because your phone is feeding you what it hears you talking about. And we know that. But I mean, even in the community, you will start to notice things. You will hear conversations or you'll notice You'll start noticing housewares once you buy your first house and you're about to decorate. You'll start noticing housewares and things on sale or whatever. You start to notice things related to whatever it is you're focusing on. That's the reticular activating system of your brain. So positive affirmations will program your RAS, your reticular activating system, to notice opportunities and solutions that align with your goals. So this is why affirmations end up themselves just sitting around saying stuff but not doing anything. That doesn't work. Affirmations have to be connected to action. Affirmations lead to action. So when you are noticing opportunities, you're noticing solutions because you have started to say, I'm successful, I'm debt free. Now you're going to start to notice opportunities to maybe pay off debt, maybe start a business, get a better paying job, what have you, to sell some things that are in your home. You will start to be aware because you have brought it into the focus of your RAS by speaking these affirmations. I am fit, I am strong, I weigh whatever it is you might want to weigh if you're on a weight loss journey. Once you start speaking that, your mind will start to focus on opportunities to make you get to that goal. That's just how it works. It's going to filter out because your brain will get overwhelmed if it had to focus on everything it sees. So it focuses on whatever you've told it you want to focus on, whether it's the negative or the positive. That's why this whole discussion is why people say when it rains, it pours, which that in and of itself is a negative self-talk that you don't need to be speaking. But when it rains, it pours is because when something negative happens, you start to focus on that negative thing, and now you see more negative. Or maybe you watch something negative on the news. It's presidential election time. There's a lot of vitriol going out. And if you focus on those things, then you're going to see it more and more. You're going to hear more conversations. You're going to see more and more people doing crazy things. I am not caught up in that particular scenario right now. I am aware of the political landscape. I plan to vote, but I'm not caught up in it. So I don't have that negative feeling that some people are online. They're talking about, they're angry or they're frustrated or they're trying to get people to change their points of view. I don't even see those. I have filtered it out. My RAS is focusing on making the world a better place and putting positivity out into the world. And so that's what I see a lot of. All my news feed is all about making the world a better place, right? And what can I do to get my message out into the world? RAS brings into focus what it is that you want to see more of, or it's going to show you what you're talking about and you're going to see more of it. And then the final reason that affirmations work is that affirmations connect expectations to real tangible results. So it's like the placebo. I can't even talk. It's like the placebo effect in medicine. They have done oodles of studies. The researchers have done oodles of studies about placebo. They will give part of the group the actual medicine. Part of the group, they will tell them they're giving them the medicine, but they really just give them a sugar pill. And then some people, they don't give them the medicine. They don't even think that they had it. They have shown time after time in various clinical studies that the people who got the medicine and the people who got the placebo thought they had the medicine, but they didn't, have similar or the same results. The people who thought they had a healing chemical going through their body lined up their body. Our bodies are so amazing, but they lined up their system physiologically and healed themselves in many situations because the pill wasn't doing it. The pill was nothing. The belief that they had in the pill that they thought they got is what brought about the change. Meanwhile, the people that knew they got a pill or they got a pill and were told they did, they also got a similar result. Part of it could have been the belief, probably. It's likely, but also the medicine had an effect as well. When you expect good things to happen based on the affirmations that you are speaking, you tend to engage in behaviors. This is what I wanted to get to. The behaviors that will align with those expectations, which lead to improved outcomes. Because I believe that my message is going to go out to millions. My message can't go out to millions if I'm just sitting here with no message and with my mouth closed. But once I believe that I am called to get a message to the masses about walking in their purpose and achieving success and all the things and living a life of confidence and authenticity, I began to look for ways to bring that to pass. Because I expected it, I engaged in behaviors that made it happen, such as launching this podcast. I didn't have to struggle to launch the podcast. I'm like, I'm going to do behaviors that match what I believe now. I've now rewired my brain to believe in my eventual success and getting the words to millions. So I'm going to do the things that a person getting the message to millions does. They go out online and they talk to people. So engaging in the behaviors that go along with your affirmations is what really gives it the power. Just speaking the words isn't enough, but here's what's true. If you speak the words enough, you will engage in behaviors. Unless you're speaking them without conviction and without any belief. You have to put belief behind them. You have to put conviction behind what you're saying in order for it to work. But if you say it with energy and with meaning, you're looking yourself in the mirror and you feel emotional. Like sometimes when I'm saying certain affirmations, or I might be looking at my vision book or my vision board, I start to well up with tears because I know it's coming for me. I know it's coming for me and it's coming for you. Affirmations is what keeps you connected to your goals, connected to your core values, connected to what you want to expect out of life so that you will then do the work and make the effort, move towards the opportunities that will line you up with the affirmations. And that is why affirmations really work and what you can do to bring those to pass in your life. And if you want more help, more support, more resources around what you can do to pursue your purpose with persistence, I want to invite you to go to my website at melaniehunter.com. With 2 L's, melaniehunter.com. There are resources there for you. I may have an upcoming challenge depending on when you see this video or some upcoming classes and courses. Here's what's true. If we could all do it on our own, we'd already be doing it. It's okay to need help to move yourself on the journey towards embracing the life that you were called to have. So go to my website, get involved. Be sure to like and share this video right here. This is a big one. And I want as many people as possible to get this message. So share it, like it, comment, and let's get this message out to the masses and engage in whatever I'm doing, because wherever I'm going, I want to take you with me. So again, this has been Persistent Purpose with MJ Hunter. I am Coach MJ. And until next time, take care, be blessed, and pursue your purpose with persistence. Take care.